and he reached and he grabbed it, and I hugged him, and he hugged me, and he said, "Thank you for your courage."
After being jailed for 6 days, Davis is now back at work, but still not issuing any marriage licenses, a stance Pope Francis voiced his support for during a press conference on his flight back to Rome.
Do you support those kinds of claims of religious liberty?
Telling ABC's Terry Moran, conscientious objection is a human right, even for government officials.
He told me before he left, he said, "Stay strong." That was a great encouragement. Just knowing that the Pope is on track, with what we're doing and agreeing, kind of validates everything.
According to Davis and her lawyer, Vatican officials stayed mum on the meeting because they didn't want the Pope's visit to be focused on Kim Davis. Davis saying the Pope left her with a rosary and a renewed commitment to her cause.
I've weighed the cost, and I'm prepared to do whatever it takes.
That was Elizabeth Herb reporting. We turn to Vote 2016 news now, where former President Bill Clinton is firing back at GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. The former president is speaking out about Trump's attacks on his wife, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, of course. Trump has been criticizing her time as Secretary of State, and he has been bringing up the fact that the Clintons attended his wedding.
He asked her to come to his wedding when he found out we were going to be in Florida. And I don't know how many times he told me what a wonderful job she did for New York as a senator. You shouldn't be able to insult your way to the White House.
Hillary Clinton has seen her lead in the latest national poll nearly evaporate. Meanwhile, Trump ended his self-described boycott of Fox News last night after just 1 week by appearing on the O'Reilly Factor. Well, today, the first regular charter flight will leave from BWI Marshall Airport to Cuba. The charter service is being offered by Island Travel and Tours along with its partner Swift Air. The flights are scheduled to operate twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. 19 airports in the United States are authorized for service to and from Cuba. BWI Marshall is the only airport in this region allowed to offer those flights. Well, we want to take you back to that breaking news now. From News Chopper 7, you can see flew over the damage in Laurel from last night's storms. Investigators are still trying to find out what caused this, possibly a tornado or even a downburst. We have crews headed to that scene in Laurel right now, so make sure you stay with ABC 7 on air and online for any updates. But Doug, you take a look at it. Yeah. I mean, at least had to be very strong winds to kind of rip the roofing off.
You notice that the roofing was rolled back, and a lot of just initially, and again, I'm not there on the ground looking at it, but my first reaction, looking at things kind of rolled back and peeled, looks more like straight line winds. But the hurricane or the weather service will check, and they know exactly what to look for. See if it was a tornado, any spinning or rotary winds or straight line winds, and I'm hopeful by this afternoon we'll get a first report from them.
Okay.
In the meantime, we've got so much talking about, and it's all wet stuff, rain related, even before we get to any potential impacts from now Hurricane Joaquin. This little weather bug list from some of our weather stations, this is really cool because we have hundreds of live weather stations exclusively on our WeatherBug network around our viewing area, and we can just tap into them and look for the highest rainfall totals. So that's what we did. Since the rain began yesterday in Leesburg at Simpson Middle School, almost 4.5 inches of rain, almost 3.5 inches in Frederick, over 3 inches in Stafford and in Clarksburg, 2.83. So the rain was widespread, and this is just the beginning. We're going to have another episode of rain, heavy rain, Friday into Saturday, and then we'll get onto the possibility of interaction from the hurricane. Now, right now we have some showers, and just behind these showers, some very gusty winds coming our way. They're moving from north to south through the region. This is associated with a cold front. The bigger picture shows everything moving from southwest to northeast. So what we're getting is a process now where the cold front's going to come through. It's going to get only so far along the southeast coast of Virginia, and it's going to sit still. That is a problem because it's going to act as a focus in the atmosphere that will draw a lot of moisture out of the deep south over the next couple of days, and that's how we're going to get more and more rain, potentially more flooding issues by Friday into Saturday from that. Our futurecast is taking us through 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, where the front is stationary with heavy rain developing along the front. We'll take it through Thursday night into Friday, and this will wind up around noontime on Friday. And then we have rain in the area, but then we have very heavy rain developing, and this is unrelated to Joaquin. This is related to this cold front and a surge of moisture that will give us heavy rain at times Friday afternoon, Friday night into Saturday. Later Saturday afternoon into Sunday, things calm down briefly. Now, as far as the immediate rainfall goes through noon on Friday, we don't see a whole lot here, just several tenths of an inch, but then the heavier rain will follow.